I'm calling about a past due balance on your account. Just kidding. We're going to take your skin. By JamFranz. Episode 1. Hi there. My name is Mikayla and I wanted to tell someone about my new job. I can't really tell my friends or family because they wouldn't believe me, and I don't blame them. But I'm so excited. I figured I'd share it here, and it should be fine as long as I use pseudonyms for the customers and my company. It all started when I got the weirdest call at work a week ago. Thank you for calling the Green Vista Group. This is Mikayla. How can I help you?
Mikayla, oh my God, thank you. A real person, a real live, breathing human being.
He laughed hysterically. His words were coming so fast I could barely register them.
Mikayla, this is Jeff Doherty. You helped me set up a payment plan for my medical debt last year. Remember? Please.
I tried to recall as I located his file.
Remember?
He pleaded. I brought up his file. Oh, I did remember Jeff. Very nice guy. He had some really hard times last year. I hoped he hadn't been sick again. His tone was worrying. Oh, Jeff. Yes. How are you doing?
They're going to take my skin. My skin. Mikayla, I paid. Every last penny. There's some sort of mistake and now they're asking for my skin?
He breathed heavily into the phone. Jeff, please take a breath. I need you to slow down. Can you please repeat that? His panic was causing me to panic as well.
They're here now for my skin, and I need you to tell them that I paid. What? What?
He shouted so loudly that I dropped the receiver. When I picked it back up, I could hear him breathing in and out far too quickly to be healthy. There was some sort of electronic buzzing sounds coming from his end. His words faded into a long, electronic-sounding screech. The call disconnected. I had sat, bewildered, my brain trying to process what I had just heard. Clearly, I needed to tell someone. He was in trouble. He was either having a mental breakdown or being attacked in his home. I decided to call 911. I had his address on file, so I told the operator that I work for a collection agency and a customer sounded like they were in trouble. Yes, I work for a collection agency, and I know what you're thinking. It's true, it can be a miserable job, but no one I work with enjoys causing or witnessing misery. Okay, well, except Brad, but while I'm being honest, Brad kinda sucks in general. A lot of us are pretty broke ourselves, and we really do try and help people out as much as we can in our power. Like, if I can give you advice and get you on a $10 payment plan, at least you can show that you're paying, which helps. I always listen quietly and patiently if people yell at me, because I understand if you're going into collections, you're likely going through a tough time in general. If you want to talk to me about your life, your day, I'll listen. We work in this big, nondescript building, and it's kind of depressing inside the general office. It has a mildewy smell, sagging ceiling tiles, darkened windows, and old carpet stains with God knows what. Long story short, we're not living it up over here. Anyways, so once I got off the phone with the 911 operator, I figured I should let my manager know, in case the police needed any of our recordings, or the company needed to be involved. I sped walked through our building, looking for my direct supervisor. His office door was closed, the light was out. I suddenly remembered he had to leave early for his daughter's dance recital. I had just circled back to my desk to find my supervisor's boss standing there. He asked me to collect my things and follow him to his office. I'd only met him once before, and it was when a co-worker got fired, so my stomach dropped immediately, and I could feel myself sweating despite the temperature drop as we approached his office. As I followed him, I had tried to break down if I had done the wrong thing. Policy-wise, I mean. I knew I did the right thing morally. His office was in the basement, which, before that moment, I hadn't known existed. "Miss Garabedian, please take a seat," he said, as he gestured to a velvety chair that looked more expensive than my car. I sat down uncomfortably. I couldn't help but notice how nice his office was, how nice his clothes were. I had on old jeans with a hole forming in the knee and my non-slip work shoes that almost looked like dress shoes from a distance, but not as classy up close from my second job. One of my shoes made an unflattering squeaking noise as I sat down. We stared at each other. "Do you know why you're here?" I shook my head, wondering how I'd pay my rent if I lost this job. I looked at the ceiling trying to fight back tears so I wouldn't start crying. I don't think it worked, but at least it was dark in his office. "Thank you for bringing this situation with Jeffrey Doherty to my attention. There may have been a mix-up between our files down here in Special Collections and those of General Collections upstairs. You have excellent customer service skills." I blinked amid his gaze in surprise. That was less than 10 minutes ago. How did he know already? Did they listen in on each call in real time? He continued, "You also have an excellent collection rate, and customers like you. Well, as much as that is possible in our line of work," he said with a sly smile. I raised my eyebrows in surprise, caught myself, and tried to smoothly transition to a confident nod and smile instead. "We have an opening down here in Special Collections due to... actually, never mind why. I'd like to promote you to work down here, with our more..." He paused thoughtfully. "High-stake debtors." The only question he had for me is if I had ever promised my soul to anyone, human or otherwise. I had not. I accepted the position right away. It came with benefits and paid enough that I would only need to work one job to be able to pay my rent. He said I could start the next day and set me up with my new desk that same day. He told me I could park in the basement level of the parking garage now and to enter through the basement entry door. The funny thing is, before I was offered the promotion, I had never seen the basement level of the parking garage before either. Maybe I'm just unobservant, but I swear where the entrance is used to be just a cement wall before. He had me fill out paperwork for a keycard and clearance for the lower levels of the building, mentioned that I'm not allowed to wear or bring any gold into the basement level under any circumstances. You know, usual new hire stuff. Before I left for the day, I asked if he knew what happened to Jeff. "Due to your quick actions, we were able to rectify our mistake and Mr. Doherty managed to retain the majority of his flesh." That did unnerve me a bit. What the hell would we be doing with someone's skin? And majority? I've still never seen any of my new co-workers other than my boss. Although we work in the basement, it's nice, swanky even. There isn't even water damage coming through the ceiling. On the main floor, we had water damage and leaks. One time, after a particularly intense storm, the water came in through the poorly sealed windows overnight. It actually soaked some of Brad's stuff, which was the first and last time I've ever felt bad for Brad. My new boss did mention that unlike in my prior position, where I had initially been trained using scripts to help me prepare for a variety of scenarios, but then no longer needed them, here I needed to stick to the scripts 100% of the time for my safety. At first, I was a bit insulted, but then as I read through some of the scripts, I realized why. They sounded like nonsense, but each one was clearly written with a specific debtor in mind. Each day, I receive folders for the day's calls with a script, along with notes and actions if the person refuses to pay or becomes threatening. This is totally different than how we did things upstairs, but it's certainly not boring. For example, here are some of the scripts and notes I received today. "Hello Mikayla, my name is..." insert your first name, "with the Green Vista Group. As you may recall, when you entered this mortal plane, you borrowed a sum of 80,000 units for assistance, shelter, and the ability to bind your form to the appropriate number of dimensions. I see you have fallen behind on your payments, and if you are unable to pay at least 1,400 today, I will be forced to relieve you of your binding and release your essence into the void. Note: if unable to collect 1,400 units during the phone call, or if customer becomes belligerent, when speaking to customer, repeat in a clear voice while lighting and holding the candle located in your desk drawer to your left. Zur Zoratik ita zur Haragatik Lebratzin Zaitu. Do not hold the candle in your right hand. Hello, Bryn. My name is... insert your first name here, with the Green Vista Group. As a condition for you to remain in possession of the willful living vessel in which you currently reside, you must fulfill your outstanding agreement. Please bring the agreed upon, undamaged artifact directly to the main office within 1 lunation. Note: if customer does not complete agreed upon payment within the given time period, or customer becomes difficult, play file GVG-SC serve $D$employee safety-scythrol.mp4 directly into the phone receiver. Hello, Sidome. My name is... insert your first name, with the Green Vista Group. I am following up with a reminder regarding your payment plan as requested. Your next payment is due on the Peftu, the 3rd day of Nicaea. We currently accept payment in precious gems, Ethereum, Decades, or USD. Note: customer always makes payments without issue. They have simply requested a reminder due to the centennial nature of their payment plan. Preserve relationship at all costs. If they offer you the site, politely let them know you are honoured but cannot accept their gift as you are a mortal being and would perish. It's been interesting so far. I've only had one difficult customer who yelled things at me that I didn't understand. It was so weird because before my boss jumped in and yelled other words I didn't understand, I started getting lightheaded, and for a moment at the time, I thought I could see my keyboard and desk through my hands and wrists. I was okay after that, although my boss did have me remain home for a day until I fully regained my corporeal form. I hope Jeff's been healing okay. Part of me wants to call and check up on him, but that would be against policy, and I really would like to keep my skin. I just want to thank JamFranz for allowing me to narrate that story. This is part of a large series which I'll try to drop a episode of each week, if not at least each fortnight. If you liked what you heard here, head over to the Reddit page and show them some love. I'll leave a link for the original story in the description below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and as always, stay tuned for one more nightmare.